Hello, hello, what people? We are back pretty quickly again because I did not like yesterday's stream. There we go. And everyone, thief run, or thief only. Venture mode, 2 hours. What clue can I get? 2 hours. What? And then link, and I actually prepared the thumbnail this time because I know what we're doing. Although I'm gonna make a random world for it, but I don't even know if there is a thief class, but we're gonna find out. And then boop pumpkin, and see if they want to fart on in here. I think that's everything I need to do. Pretty sure I don't even have Minecraft open. Yeah, that'll do it. Only move stream timer because I actually made sure to get a timer for this that can be on screen. Also, this is down here now. I decided, I used it a long ass time ago. I wanted to start using stream loots again, which adds on subs, and then there's also cards you can get so they play on stream. Like, let me get Amalgamation running. There you go. Like, can I do a test card real quick? Because I'm pretty sure I can do test cards. I know there's a way to test reactions and emotes. There's also, subs have emotes. And if they pop up, or when they use them, they pop up on screen. So, like, I can test an emote like this. I could spam that test. And then subs will also get a variety pack, or one variety pack every month. I might change that around, I might not. Manage. Can I test play one? Can I test card? This form contains invalid errors. What do you mean? I just want to do a test card. Why are these set to only subscribers? Oh, because subscribers get one. Yeah, because subscribers get one when they... Okay, let me manage... Let's do question. There we go. And that also said subscribers. There we go, card played. There we go, so it's up there. So stuff like that. And I also have a little coupon going right now, so if you do first club coupon code, you get a free coupon. Or free... you get a free card pack. And I also wanted to add to Nightbot a stream loots command. So I'm gonna do exclamation mark loot. Sub or buy card or get cards on stream loots. There we go. Are all the cards set to... I want to check this. Are all cards set to... change collection? Oh, questions is not published. Right, I have the memes published. Edit. I don't know why it's set to only subs. Huh. I don't want to I don't want to set it to that. I don't know if there's a way to do it. I'll have to look into that. I think cards aren't a lot either. It's $2.50. Okay. Alright, it's $2.50 for one. Or one box, pardon. Crafting mode. I don't know. Oh. the hell? Streamlabs. Oh, hello! Hi, followers! How are you doing? I was trying to figure out cards. I didn't even know Streamlabs was working in chat. Okay. Thank you all for the follows. We're gonna get into this in a second. I was figuring out Streamloots down here, because they have cards, but set to subscribers only right now. I'm trying to figure that out. So I don't want it to be set to that. Alright, I'll figure it out another day. We have a run to do. Minecraft hasn't even opened. Of course it hasn't. This is Amalgamation. This is a mod pack I've been working on for a little bit. Yeah. It's RPG focused. We've been testing it for a little while now. A couple weeks now? A month? Something like that? Because I think I started really testing at the beginning of June. We were doing a hardcore randomizer, and that's what I was streaming yesterday, but it was kind of boring. And some ideas I had generated, I wanted to do a thief run, where we go into a world, and using cheats, I put myself into adventure mode, because you can't start a world in adventure mode for some reason. So we're gonna get into just that. And then this timer down below is how much time we have. We're gonna do this for 2 hours and see how much I can get. So let's create a new world. And thief only. And yeah, you can't set it to that, so I'm going to set it to survival. We are turning on cheats, so I can change the game mode to adventure mode, because it won't let me otherwise. And keep it normal, yeah. This has origins and origin classes. I want to go with either Elytrian or Enderan. I think Enderan's better. I would love to do Elytrian. But Enderman, I can teleport around. Elytrian, I could fly around, but I have the armor debuff, where I can only wear between, I think it's leather, gold, and chainmail. Chainmail's the best thing I could possibly wear, and that can seriously downgrade me. Enderman can wear diamond armor, but I can't touch water, unless I get water protection somehow. Which I hope I can? But that's merely a hope. I don't know if there'd be any other good origins for this. Also, timer will start once I set myself to adventure mode, but yeah. And it takes forever to load, of course it does. I'm really excited for this. I was going to do a pacifist run, but I thought this would be more interesting. Because you can track a Minecraft pacifist run by the damage dealt statistic. I am having frames. And there's a lot of ways you can deal damage without dealing statistical damage in the game, like pets, TNT, end crystals, potions. There's a lot of different ways. Fire. There's random. Phantom. Can you fly with a phantom? You can walk phantoms walk through solid material. Blazeborn, we don't want to start in the nether. Merling, absolutely not for this run. Enderan is what I want to do because of the teleportation, but it has the hydrophobia. And scared of pumpkins. Feline, I've had trouble with that. Shulkers, you have extra slots, but that doesn't matter because we have backpacks. And Elytrian's the one I usually go for, mainly because of the wings. I want to fly, though. I would love to fly, because I feel like that'd make this a little bit easier. But I feel like I can still accomplish the same thing with Enderan, so we're going with that. Is there a thief class? There's an explorer, cleric, blacksmith, cook, lumberjack, miner, rancher, farmer, the beastmaster, rogue. Oh, rogue! Usually known to thieves and robbers, rogues are proficient in ambush and stealth attacks. Your nameplate is never visible through walls, even when you're not sneaking. That doesn't. There's a thing over there. Can I steal anything from you? Paper, there's unbreaking. I just want to get as much as I can. Iron, yes. And gold, I suppose. You know, I'll take that too. You know what? I'm gonna grab bones just so we can get pets. Because why not? I mean, why not? If I can, I will. I think the hardest thing to accomplish is going to be backpacks. How am I going to get... I can't even get in here. Can I get in here? I can get in. Can I safely get out of this place? No, I cannot. Because I can't even break leaves. So there's no way for me to get out of there once I get in. Unless I get a water bucket. Could I get away with teleporting in there and then... no, I could not. Nope. 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 Well, if I got the guy down, then it'd be a lot easier for me to get in, would it not? No, would it? Get away. Get away. Can I do that? Would that work? Nope. How? I barely saved myself there. Get away! Get it. Nope. I just want to loot the chest. I'd even start the timer. Start. Please. Thank you. Okay. I know I can get up there. I just have to aim the ender pearl correctly. Yes! Oh, nope. Down. Goodbye. Crossbow! I'll take any weapon I can get right now. Potatoes. And I'll take the bottle enchanting. Heal a little bit. Oh, he's trying to get up. Okay. We leave. Goodbye. Oh, there's a temple! Oh, I actually have to do the puzzle because I can't destroy anything. That worked. That's all I need, right? Because then it opens up a note. What do you mean? Oh, they followed me over here. Oh, no. No. Okay, never mind. We're not looting that place. Never mind. They followed me. Why did they follow me over there? That's far enough away. They shouldn't have followed me. Is there anything? Let's just try to keep going this way. I mean, at least I got a little bit of stuff from that. I would have loved to get something more from the temple. At least I got something. Come on, I need to find a village. There's something down there that I might be able to get some loot from. The horse over there. Pretty please. It's just normal old ruins. I love you, you're great for world building, you look cool. There's mushroom caves. You look cool, but you don't have any loot. And if you did, I can't access it. Yeah, these are mushroom caves. It's a mushroom mineshaft. I don't know how safe that would be for me. And I'm gonna eat all these potatoes. Oh dear, yeah I am. I don't have any other food. I think I can barely make a sword. I'm not gonna be able to pick up this crafting table. I can't even place a crafting table. So, I absolutely have to get to a village so I can use a crafting table. I can use a crossbow to shoot a couple of mobs, but not a whole lot. Why am I running? Why? Ooh, there might be something over that way. I can teleport. This is the whole reason I picked Enderman. Whoop. Don't land in the water. Okay, wonderful. Yep. Just don't land in water. Okay, great. Was this something over here? No, there's nothing over here. Wonderful. I guess continue through the cold area. Come on. Chickens! Oh yeah, there's mob leveling, so the farther we get out, the worse this is gonna be. Especially if it starts becoming nighttime. I don't even know if I can set a bed down. Every time we find a place, I'm gonna have to... Is that... No, that's a tree. I thought that was gonna be a village. There's a structure over there, but I know for a fact that it doesn't have anything. I think at most it spawns like a mushroom. Whoop. Pretty please. Oh, watchtower! Watchtower! Bed! I don't even... Oh, I don't even know if I can break the bed, but at least I can sleep in the... Oh, sleep in the watchtower. Is this a pillager watchtower, or... It's an abandoned watchtower? Can I get up there? Yes, I can. I don't think I was supposed to be able to, but I could. Oh, there's a villager up here. Okay, I'm stealing this crafting table from you, sir. I can't... I think the most use I can get out of anything is a sword. And then make an axe as well, just because it's better attack damage sometimes. What's in the chest? That's some good enchants. Sticks! And yeah, I can't do anything with that. It's very slowly climbed down. Okay. Is there anything else around here? No. But there could... Ooh, how am I getting around that water? Probably best to go this way somehow. It's very, very safely. I'm gonna run out of food pretty quickly, too. Gonna need to kill some mobs I see. At least I have a weapon to actually do with now instead of just punching them. Just gonna beat up a chicken with my bare fist. Please. Please, land. No, 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 no. Okay, we're fine. It's fine. It is A-okay. There's something up there. Best to try over there. Please land. Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Yes! There's something up there! I know I saw it! I know I did! Please, please, just let me go up. Let me go up. Please, I need food. Yes! Yes! I need food! Please! You have a waystone! Bonk. Oh, because of world edit. Okay, yeah. Food! Yes, 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 bread. I never thought I'd be so happy to see bread. Okay. More bread! And potatoes! And I guess coal can be used. I don't know how useful coal is gonna be to me. I guess if I manage to find raw food, then I can cook it. Or manage to get some raw food. All the animals are gone from here. This is wonderful. These are genuinely one of the best villages you can get. Out of all the better villages, there's nothing in here. I love looting these places because they're always, usually at least, very good. And you can usually get a lot from them, but I am in adventure mode, so I have no idea what I can actually get. Where are the stairs? There they are. There's pool, or bath. I think that's supposed to be blood on the floor. I'm not sure. Bread. Sticks. Compass. Could I make an explorer's compass? I don't know if I could... I don't know if it's possible for me to make an explorer's compass. I need cracked stone brick for that. And I can't go up there. If I manage to get a creeper to blow up some stone brick, then I may be able to. Can I? If I manage to get flint and steel, I can relight these fires. But I need to get some flint from a chest. I need to find a ruined portal then. Is there anything up here for me? No. There's some food on the walls. I'll take that. Happily, I need all the food I can get. Eat the worst stuff first, though. Food! Bread. And there's a cake. Tools! Good tools! I don't know what I'm gonna get out of a pickaxe, but... I think a pickaxe is completely useless in this case, actually. There's zero use for me to have one. And then all these broke, so I can get in here and steal that emerald. Can I get a good bow out of this? Because I could... Helmet! I could probably... I'm trying to think through what I can actually accomplish. And it's almost night. Because I'm thinking I could probably craft a bow and get an emerald bow if I find enough emeralds. Oh, right, Enderman. Yep. Completely forgot already. This is the same building. I'm gonna go steal a bed. Can I manage to find string, though? I need to get string from a chest. What can I actually manage to do? Can I make a decent build to actually survive? Maybe I can loot some genuine structures. I'm not sure. There is actually good stuff at the top of that. I think we're gonna have to go to the top of that. Actually, wait, I could probably cheese a lot of that, because I'm an Enderman. I could just pearl most of the way up. Let's see what some of these have for me first. Can I even get in this building? Thank you. Because sometimes these can have really good stuff like this. There we go. These chests from this house specifically can have... I have a full set of armor! These houses specifically can be good. I don't know if there's anything that's gonna be good in the rest of the place. Because I don't think... Yeah, I can't access any of that. Oh, chest. I have all of that. I don't know why the pumpkin pie says in it. Because I'm an Enderman! It's pumpkins! Okay, that's why it says inedible. I'm an Enderman. I don't like pumpkins. I had no clue what that was before. I'm like, why can't I suddenly not eat pumpkins? Right, Enderman. I'm really tempted to just go straight up that nice thing. But I want to try and loot a little bit more of the village first. Although there's probably not going to be any other really good buildings. Sometimes there are, but a lot of the time, they're not. That'd be great if I could place blocks, but I can't even place blocks. Oh, this one's a decent one. But it doesn't have anything I could really use. Okay. Whoop. Pearl all the way down there. Can I pearl right onto that ledge over there? Whew. I can... Okay, yeah, down here. This works. Now I gotta be careful, because some of this is powdered snow, and you can just fall straight on down. I gotta be very careful. Like there. But I know, I can't remember exactly what it... I'm not even sure if I can get it. I'm pretty sure it's in the ice. There's like a netherite helmet or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, I just remember it was good loot. Oh, yep, there I go. Yep. Pearl, out of it. Was not paying enough attention. Whoop, there's more. Just very, very slowly, very carefully. I have no... I'm gonna have to start carrying TNT with me. I don't even know if that's gonna work. Would TNT work in adventure mode? I don't know. Yeah, I can't break that. So if I feel like this is the ultimate goal. Can I break this in the 2 hours? Goal! Goal! Type correctly, there we go. I think that is our ultimate goal. Now, can I get my hands on TNT? And how in the world will I accomplish that? And I would need flint and steel. No, I couldn't even place TNT. I'd have to fire charge. How am I going to get to an ender port? I need to get to the stronghold. I don't even know if I can get an explorer's compass working. Okay. We have a lot of goals suddenly. I need flint and steel. We have modded stronghold. In said modded stronghold, if I can get down to the nether deep slate portion of it, there's a fully constructed nether portal. I just need flint and steel for it, then I can get fire charges. Unless, I could probably get fire charges from a ruined portal anyway. I could probably do that unless I get really lucky and get it from a chest here, but I don't think that's gonna happen. And there's a second waystone over here, but I can't even break it to carry it with me. How in the world am I gonna get my hands on stone bricks? If I find stone in a chest... Where the hell am I gonna find stone in a chest, though? I don't even know where I would find that. I feel like I'd have to get a creeper at nighttime to blow up some cobblestone. That's gravel desert, okay. Or if I get a creeper to blow up some gravel, I could probably accomplish that too. Oh, that's flint! That is flint! That village has flint! I know exactly what that thing is. And sometimes the stronghold is attached to it. Sometimes. Out of like the 4 or 5 of these I've seen when playing on this mod pack, 2 or 3 of them have been attached to iron and string. Been attached to the stronghold. Because it is actually labeled as a stronghold city. Wait, I completely ignored the flint. Alright. I have flint and steel. I can't place a plank to burn anything, and I can't do that. So I have flint and steel for the portal. I don't think... I can't even use the flint and steel. So there's no going to the nether for me. So I just need to get my hands on a ruined portal somehow. I think even if I find cobblestone in a chest, I could get this done. Because the Explorer's Compass could also send me to a ruined portal. But what's actually going to give me cobblestone? I'm still thinking that a creeper is my best way right now. Oh, more arrows and a bow. I'm not sure if a crossbow or bow is better. I'm gonna go with a bow, because I can turn that into an emerald bow later. Or I can just merge these two. Boop. Okay, I'm not sure where to go from here. Iron and more string. I still haven't found any leather for a backpack. Because the reason I want so much string, I only really need 1 piece in order to make a backpack, but the extra string I can use to make wool. Emeralds! So if I find a crafting table, we can make an emerald bow, which is second only to netherite. It's better than diamond. It's +3 projectile damage. Iron and more string. Could I get a creeper to blow up a sheep or a cow? Because that would probably drop items, right? That would do something, wouldn't it? Okay. I could probably go into a cave and get a creeper that way, too, now I'm thinking about it. Because in large part, I've just been kind of waiting for nighttime, but I could have done that, too. And get cobblestone that. I still haven't found cobwebs, though. I know there's some structures that will give cobwebs as loot. I don't need the leggings. I guess I don't really need the ender pearl. I'm not planning on going to the end. There's something over that way. That could be another village. Whoop. Whoop. Yes, it is. I see the waystone right there. Oh, that's gonna take a minute to land, isn't it? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh, no, oh. How many times am I gonna misfire? Jeez. Oh, I'm stuck in here. Okay. That was lovely. Hated that. Hi, guys. You have thing. I can craft quite a few pieces of wool at this point. I can craft the 4 that I need. But I still need leather. I'm gonna give my... Oh, right, the bow! Craft an emerald bow. So now we have a pretty good weapon. And then I can also do an iron sword. And an iron axe. I might as well go for shield. I don't have the wood for a shield. Jeez. There's saplings, but I can't do anything with that. Oh, I didn't even know there was a chest. Bucket! I feel like... I know water is gonna hurt me, but it still can be useful in certain scenarios. It won't even let me use it. I can't even use a bucket. I could still use these, though. I could still use stone cutters. And I could still use fall damage. I can use a lot of fall damage. Where do I go from here? I want to get that fire charge, but isn't that a decently rare thing? I would imagine so. Might as well. Bread's the only thing I'm gonna get from this place, it looks like. Oh. Let me grab... Hi, Rabbit. Let me grab this waystone. There's a cobweb right there, but I'm not gonna get that. There's a follower here. Also, if you see any little black squares, that's supposed to be where the level is shown. But if I move around a little bit, you see the green things going across the screen? That's their level. I don't think I can aim any of them correctly. Let me... You can see the 11, though. You can see all the 11s. I don't know why that doesn't work. I want to try and figure out, but I'm not that good at coding. You have leather armor and a bed. I need a creeper right now. I need to get a creeper to blow up some cobblestone. Whoop. There's sheep. But no creepers. I need creepers. It's nighttime. Oh, water, right. Okay. This is a place I can get a creeper, but it's not exactly a good place for me to get stone. Am I gonna find the ancient city? Is my luck gonna continue to follow me? Is there an ancient city down here? There's cobwebs over there. There's a zombie. I need a creeper to blow up some stone. I'm in diorite caves. There's barely any stone around at all. I have no way of easily getting back out of this either. I found the deep dark. Oh, it only took 30 minutes. I'm very curious. Can I find the ancient city? Can I even break this? No. Oh, yeah, there's the ancient city. There it is. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It happens every time without fail. I don't know why. Oh, right, sneak mode. I forgot I sneak. I'm a rogue. Does that mean it doesn't even detect? No, it detects. Okay. Yeah, shut up. There's a thing there. There's two there. Could I get away with opening that? I don't think so. Yeah, I could get diamonds down here, though. This is not at all what I intended. I thought I was going to be looting villages for this. Not the literal ancient city. I did not think this is how this was going to end up at all. Is there anything... Hey, Billy Bob, welcome back. We're thief-only adventuring. Adventure mode. Playing Minecraft. And of course, I found the ancient city again. And hopefully, I'm trying to see if there's any chests I can steal from. The blue aura around the string is because I picked the rogue stream is because I picked the rogue class. There's something up there, but can I get away with that? There's so many chests around, but I don't know if I can get away with any of them. This one up here looks like I could genuinely do, though. Is there anything in there? No. There's a chest up here. And it doesn't look like there's any shriekers nearby. X! Pretty good X. You know, I'll take it. Take what little loot I can find. Can I just teleport over to that one? I watched 15 episodes in a day of Passion SMP. Hell yeah! Respect for that. You know what? I'm just gonna... There are sensors down there, but is there a shrieker down there? I think it'd be worth it if there was. Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was. I think it's time to go. Oh, I'm so lucky that there wasn't a sensor. Or shrieker. I am so... There was one right there. I saw that. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here. Is this even the... This is the right spot. Cool. Okay, we're gonna leave. I already triggered it 3 times. It's gonna spawn the next time I trigger it. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. Goodbye. I just wanted cobblestone, by the way. That's the entire... There's no creepers. There's a zombie villager over there. I haven't seen I've seen 2 zombies. 2! Not a single creeper in sight. Lilac Gameplay seems like a chill person. Yeah, they are. They're great to work with on camera and behind the scenes. Loved working with them. And while they aren't able to be on the SMP as much, I know we're actually going to be working towards Season 2 very soon here. I know they're going to try and stick around for Season 2. Oh, there's a skeleton! There's a creeper! Creeper, 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 creeper! Please, pretty please, come over here. Come over here. I need you to explode over some stone. No, you. Creeper. Please. Yes, just you. I only need you. How am I gonna get you over to stone? There's only little bits here and there, so I'm gonna have to use what I can. There's a patch of stone here! Oh, lovely. We just... Yeah. 1 piece of cobblestone! Are you kidding me? 1 measly... I need 4! Out of all that, that's the only thing I got. I mean, it's still nighttime. I might have better luck above ground, but... Jeez. Is there anything over there that could be helpful? See, there's a skeleton boy there. Nope. Oh, you're like... You have 60 health. You suck. My first killed. Oh, there's more cobble over here. There's more stone. I have a feeling these are infested caves, so I'm gonna end up with more spiders than creepers. Or there are no mobs. There are no mobs here at all. I just want cobblestone. There's poison spiders up ahead, but I do not... Oh, that's a zombie. There's the poison spider. If I continue down the cave... Oh... Can I literally just get one creeper to spawn? Pretty please. It looks like things... No! That's a creeper. That's the kind of creeper. There we go. Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. No! Didn't even drop anything. You. Please. There we go. That's 3! There's more cobblestone! Yes! I have enough! I have enough! What am I doing? I still haven't even gotten cobwebs. I still need cobwebs. I don't think if they blow up these cobwebs, it's gonna drop cobwebs. It'd probably drop string. But geez, the amount of work it took just to get stupid cobblestone. And I'm gonna have a fun time getting out of this cave, because I can't use water. Uh-oh. I know exactly how that was gonna go. It's a miracle that went well at all. Up there. And then slowly rock climb my way up. Try that. Oh. And then try that. There we go. Yay! Okay, freedom, freedom. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I have cobblestone. I want to go back to that village and smelt the cobblestone into stone and then into stone brick. Or craft that into stone brick and then smelt the stone brick so I can get the cracked stone brick I need for the explorer's compass. Jeez, and I have no clue. I know I can get cobwebs from chests. I know I can. I feel like the answer is the mushroom mineshaft I saw way earlier. I have enough stuff now, I could probably get away with it. Because I wasn't sure if I'd even survived the thing earlier, but I think I could do it now. Flint and steel's useless to me. I don't even know if I can use fire charges either. I'm just hoping that that is actually possible for me to use. And it's merely a hope, unfortunately. Might as well do this. Trying to organize a little bit of what I can. Found the sound effects again, did you? Okay. What could possibly give me? What could even give me cobwebs around here? There's that thing there, but that's probably a pillager tower. I still feel like this church, that very first thing we saw, could have one actually. But it's probably inside the church, which means... Can I even place a boat? I could ender pearl out. I should have done that in the first place. I'd even think about that. I thought I could ender pearl in. I didn't think about just ender pearling out. Okay. So let's go back to spawn. Whoop. And maybe we find something along the way that could also have things. Have cobwebs, perhaps. There's that watchtower that we saw. Oh, that was that's a watchtower. Okay. I thought it was a pillager place. That's a pillager thing. That's not going to have anything useful for me. I don't think that's going to make it. Oh, it barely did. Wonderful. Whoop. Oh. Alright. Why is it taking... Oh, that's why it's taking forever. Oh no, oh no, oh no. That's a mine shaft. That's a mushroom mine shaft. How... I can't do water. Unless I want to die attempting to get down into that. Is there an obvious entrance anywhere around here? Ooh, hit that tree. Perfect. Is there an obvious entrance to that mine shaft? Because sometimes mine shafts can have above ground entrances. Or is that the mine shaft I'm actually heading towards? Now we saw that way over here. It could potentially be the same one, but it probably isn't. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go to the first one we saw. It's not guaranteed, but the mineshaft could potentially have cobwebs as loot, so I'm really tempted to go for it. But I feel like the safer bet is just that church we saw at the beginning. And that's an instant ban. Goodbye, sir. I'm not even gonna bother. No. We're only a half hour in, jeez. I feel like I've been playing this for way longer. Okay, almost back, almost back. Is there anything around here that could be good? There looks like there's a mushroom... Oh wait, no, the chapel. Focus on the chapel. My mind went, mushroom! Wait, the mushroom mine shaft! No, we need to go to the chapel. That's gonna be my best bet. That's where we need to go. Whoop. There's a waystone over there, but we don't need that. I just want to see that chapel. Chapel! Boink. That'll do. There we go. Oh, jeez. I don't need you guys. At least you're low level. So it doesn't take a lot to kill ya. Bonk. Okay. Because I'm an Enderman, I have less hearts, don't I? Let me upgrade my health. Or no, I have the right amount of hearts. Okay. So I can crouch. Oh, goodbye. Okay. Now, is there cobwebs in here? No. Is there... There's cobwebs! There's only 3, though! And there's a bundle. I mean, I might as well take it. Can I... Oh, books are... Okay. What can I throw in here, then? I don't know how bundles work. Okay, that's how. You can only put 1 enchantment book in there. Okay. Okay. I have legit never used a bundle. I have never used a bundle. Oh, bye, sir. Goodbye, sir. I could probably get a singular cobweb in a mineshaft. Probably. Oh. Forgot about the water already. It was over this way that the mineshaft was. If not, I could check out this thing over here, which is probably also a mineshaft. I don't know why they're all mushrooms. I really don't know why they're all mushroom mineshafts. Okay, there's the structure, so there must be a cave about somewhere around here that had the mushroom. Wait, where's the mushroom cave? Oh, I'm looking. Okay, over here. Yeah, this thing. Okay. That scared me a little bit, honestly. Okay. Oh, free fall. Fungal caves. That's why they're all mushroom mine shafts. It's because of the biome. Hopefully I'm prepared enough to deal with this. And already things are spawning around. Golden apple, I'll take it, and bread. Torches are kind of pointless because I can't place anything. Name tags, more bread. I'll take all the bread I can get, honestly. Diamonds, 2 diamonds. You know what? I'll take that. If I get leather, I can make a... Ooh, wait. Oh, torches are gonna be helpful. I can't break anything. I just have to deal with these guys really quick. These could have cobwebs. There's bones. I'll take bones and a saddle. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Good thing we're close to spawn, otherwise this would kick my butt. There's a lead, there's more string, there's stall. I can't use buckets. I can't use any of that. And there's a barrel right here, but that doesn't have anything useful either. And every time you hear that llama spit noise, it's more mobs appearing. I don't think... With these versions of mineshafts, I don't think any extra chests can spawn outside of that original hall. I have sincere doubts about that. I think that there's no way that other mineshaft is connected to this one. There's no way. Are there any other structures connected to this mineshaft, though? There's amethyst right there, apparently. And then you have coal, but I can't mine anything. So that's pointless. I just need one more cobweb. That's all I need. But I don't think I'm gonna get it anytime super soon. Because you need shears to pick it up in the first place. Oh, there we go. Can I, like, ender hop and cling on? Yeah, I could do this. Just cling on to random spots. Slowly ender pearl my way up. Whoop. 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 Okay. Well, that was great, and it's nighttime. Great. Lovely. Hey, maybe I can get more cobblestone. But not in this biome. Okay, I also want to go see what this is about. Because I don't know why there would be a random mushroom there. Because that's absolutely a mushroom. It could be just a giant mushroom in a large cave opening. Which it probably is, but it could be another mine shaft, which is what I'm kind of hoping for. Also, I should go to that waystone tower. I should have gone to do that. Because then I could have a waystone for spawn. Yeah, that guy. Whoop. Whoop. That's great. Perfect. Bonk. Anything good? I would have gotten an iron helmet if I went over this. Other side? Why? I don't know why other side is there. That really shouldn't happen. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a mushroom cave. I mean, it's worth checking out. Where was it on the map? This way. I'm guessing it's that ravine. Ravine? Yeah, okay. It's just a small little ravine. You suck. I mean, I'm going this way. Might as well continue it. Try and find something new that could give me a cobweb. I'm really hoping we find another one of those chapel churches. Whatever you want to call it. Where See mushroom. Where's the red? Oh, red's all the way over there. Yeah, it's definitely... Oh, zombie. Definitely mushroom cave. Oh, you all suck. I'm gonna be leaving now. Goodbye. I don't want to deal with you. Oh, nethermine shaft. You know, I'm willing to go. Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. 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 No, thank you. Oh. I did not time that ender pearl well. I'm just gonna sit right here and heal. Because that feels like a smart move right now. That feels like a good thing to do. I'll take more coal and there's more gold. You are a thing that might have cobwebs. Can I get in? I don't even remember how. Oh, over there. Nope. Oh, there's a spider spawner over there. That could have cobwebs. I mean, I'll take diamonds. A lot of copper, more diamonds. That's a lot of copper. A lot of diamond helmet. Give me the diamond helmet. Efficiency, sharpness, why not? I still haven't seen any dogs this entire time. Do sharpness 1 sword. Might as well. More diamonds. Looting. Spider spawner. There's a bed. Wonderful. I'm not sure how much is upstairs. Another diamond. I can't use pickaxes. Feather falling. I kind of really want leather. I feel like I'm gonna have to make a creeper blow up. Hey, there's more string. There's a cobweb. Okay, goodbye. 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 Wonderful. I don't care about any other loot. That's there. I am happy. I got my cobweb. We're going up. With still an hour to spare. Okay. So that gives me plenty of time to go to ruined portals and hopefully get a fire charge. Because I think the only other way would be luring a creeper up there. Because I don't think a creeper could naturally spawn up there. Oh right, you stupid rain! You suck. There's a thing over here. Oh, it's a pillager place. Of course it is. You suck. You have a crafting table. Could I go to that without triggering a pillager? Looks like it. I'll take it. Chest plate. I can't put a chest plate in there. Okay, this is like the worst. There's a village over there! I just have to cross under the trees in order to get it. There's a thing right there! Go over to that tree. And then go over there. Okay, lovely. Covered space. Oh, that's great. Oh, I was supposed to craft the... Can I... Oh. Oh. The stupid sheep is in the way. You have a crafting table? No, you have logs! I can make a shield now! Oh, this sucks. Huh. Oh, there's a door over there. There's a door! There's a door! You know, I'm setting my spawn point here, because that's smart. Because I'm almost dead anyway. Back there. Over there. Down there. Over there. Let me in! Thank you, thank you, Connie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to teleport across the road. Also, the kids have large heads. I can't fix that. Oh, Larry. There's a house over there. Here be maybe alright. Another compass. And that could sticks. None of you have crafting tables. You have barrels. If any loot in there, you probably have string, but I can't get to it. It's raining. Oh, can I reach one? Can I? Oh, it doesn't have anything good anyway. You suck. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. I can't even reach that. Oh, this is shaded. Oh, wonderful. There's something over there, but I don't know if it's gonna have anything. More logs. Do you have anything? You might. Yes! Logs! I'm gonna start saving logs in case I can go back to that village that had the stonecutter. Because we do have a mod edition where I can throw wood through stonecutters. Oh, no, 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 no! Stonecutter! Get me underneath! Thank you! And so now I'm getting 6 planks instead, and then I can make a lot more use out of those sticks. You had a piece of stone? Are you kidding me? Oh, shh. I want to get to that. Oh, I can't even get in there. Go underneath. No, 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 underneath the tree. I do not know how to deal with the rain. Oh wait, they have a waypoint. They have a waystone. I know that other village up there. Way over here. This one. I never triggered the waystone for that. I'd have to go to Azza over there in order to get anywhere from here. Because I never triggered the waystone for this village. Oh, hi. Hi, Kim. How are you? I don't have water protection. Okay, I have no clue how to that's another pillager tower. Can it please stop raining? Pretty please. I want to play the game. I want to play. Might as well just crawl around. Set spawn point. Jeez. I need a crafting table, but I can't place one. I don't even know why I keep this in my inventory. I can't use it. I still haven't seen any wolves, and if I have, I've ignored it completely. Oh jeez, I picked the wrong tree. Can I go over that one? How far can I get purely from shade? That's a spot I can go. Then over there. That tree's a better spot. That tree's a good spot. Huh. I wanted to go to that one. Okay, next best one is over there. Can I make that all the way over there? I went in the tree. Oh, that'll do. Over there. Nope. Over there. Over there. Over there. I'm just shade hopping. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. Okay, perfect. Is that a mansion? I mean, out of all things to loot, that'd be something pretty good to do. Yeah, that's a spruce mansion. Okay. I mean, if I can manage to get in, why not? It's only gonna be mildly annoying, hopefully. Go over there. I'm still trying to heal while we're doing this, too. It doesn't help I'm taking even more damage. Okay. I can get over there. Get up there. Oh, I didn't make it. Oh, the thing's covered in pillagers. Where even would the entrance be for that thing? I did not want to go to this one. I wanted to go under here. I could see all of them on the map. Like, I know the mansion's meant to be a pillager thing, but pillagers aren't usually in it. It's usually just mobs and occasionally pillagers. It's not usually absolutely covered in them. Okay. Go over to that tree. I mean, it looks like the bottom floors might be safe. If I can go over to the entrance. Which is going to be a difficult task to manage. Shield? Why is this area called Shield? I don't even have a shield yet. I haven't found I haven't found another crafting table. Oh, it's nighttime again, too. Jeez. And it looks like even the entrance to this mansion is covered. Where? It's not even on this side. Genuinely, where's the entrance for this thing supposed to be? Oh, I completely went past it multiple times. Get under! I know it's not going to have any beds, but I at least want to check it out a little bit. Okay. No, sir. No, 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 no. Thank you. Okay. Safety for the night. Because I know I'm not going to find a bed in here, but at least I can get a little bit of loot. Just a wee bit. It doesn't look like there's many other villagers on this specific level. So we should be decently good for that. Unbreaking! And more string. I really just want a crafting table, though. That would be the dream right now. Let's organize like this. There you go. I seriously just need a quick little crafting table. Let me get rid of all the waypoints on here. You suck. Nope. Wonderful. It sounds like everybody else is upstairs, hopefully. Jeez, that's a chest. Yeah, there's not a lot of good rooms down here. I assume there's probably some secret rooms that I'm missing. I don't know if I even want to attempt to go upstairs. Because I really would rather not. And it's way dark now. Oh, I think someone trying to get to me. Leave. I just completely cut off him. Or cut him off. I could probably go back around to the village and sleep there. Or I could go over to the watchtower. Because the watchtower had a bed. It was a little difficult to get up to, but it does have a... no. It does have a bed. Please? What? There we go. It was not letting me use the ender pearl for a second. That is a tree. Okay. And then use the shade for a little bit. Ready, please? Ah, almost there. Halfway. I see it! There's a wild waste stone! Wait. Oh. I saw it and then I lost it. Oh, there it is. Just gonna run over. There we go. Whoop. Perfect. And then up there. That tree's gonna be good. And then I just gotta run in! And then I can teleport. Oh, no. Let me up. I'm bandit, I'm stealing your bed. Okay. Is the rain gone? It's gone! It's gone! And then I can use the Wild Way Stone to quickly teleport over to the Snow Village. We can use their crafting table. I can craft the Explorer's Compass. Or wait, no, I have to go to this one. No. This is the wrong direction. I need to go to the other Azure. I need to go to Aza, not Azure. Whoop. And then actually use the Waystone at the stupid village. Whoop. Whoop. I love just yeeting myself around. Whoop. That's great. I know I saw the Waystone earlier. There it is. Don't know why I never got it. Welcome back, Billy Bob. I need a crafted table. Oh wait, I can go to that, I dropped off the flint and steel because I thought I wouldn't need it. Oh, that hurts. There was campfires that I was thinking about. Oh, I could relight these. Redstone? I completely missed this. What the hell? Okay. I am on I hate auto smelters. Yeah, that was a fun one. I tried making that work so many times. At this point, I have a way to do it, and I have actually fixed it. It's still, I got obsidian. I can't use it. I have it though, I guess. If I want it, I can't use it. I have actually gotten away for the auto smelters to work though. I just did that behind the scenes. I meant to put it in the most recent episode, but I just didn't. Can I find a stupid crafting table? Pretty please. Anyone. You have a furnace in here. I need a crafting table. Hello? Boop. And you craft crafting table. We take compass, cracked stone brick, cobwebs, explorer's compass. Now I can go to a stupid ruined portal. Search. 805? How about I search for group? It's still 800. You suck. I will be back. Actually, you know what? There was a bunch of flint here. I still have iron. Let's make another flint and steel, because apparently I dropped the last one. And then I can steal some... That's a little too far. Oh, no, but it's just right. And then I can get some more food from that village because of all the burnt-out campfires that are around that have food. Before you went live, I was watching the Passion playlist on my laptop playing Fallout 4 on my Xbox. Hell yeah. That's the best way to consume content, honestly. I've been rewatching Digimon. I'm on season 2. We're talking like original Digimon. The 1999 and 2000, I think, is the correct years. Because there's a lot of different seasons of Digimon, and honestly, the games, no. The show is pretty damn good, though, and it's aged well. There are definitely some jokes that's like, yeah, it makes sense for the time period, alright. But in large part, for its actual character growth and, like, talking about mental health, it's great. It's a fantastic show. Flint and steel accomplished. I go get food. 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 Oh, I barely missed a cave. Food. Which building was it? I think it was that one. Yes, this one. Hello. I can't even use the flints. Oh. You suck. Y'all suck. I'm gonna keep it anyway, just as a memento, but you suck. I'm almost done with season 2, though. I've been watching it for a couple days now. Admittedly, that's pretty easy to do. And it's pretty easy to binge because it's all on Hulu, by the way. I should mention this. It's Hulu and Prime if you pay for it, but Hulu, yeah. Stars. But season 1 is 54 episodes long, and it's all 20 minutes each, about. And then season 2 is also 20 minutes long, each episode, and it's about 50 episodes. Or it is 50 episodes, I remember looking at this. And season 2 does amazing on building off of season 1, and adding to, and adding on top of the existing world, and adding more onto the world. When we see old characters, we get some new ones. It does a great job for all of that. And that's why I love it so much. The technical season 3, there is another season, and there's even more that came out. Season 3 takes season 1 and 2 and says, hey, these were a TV show in season 3 and made a card game. And it's completely new set of characters. And as far as I'm aware, Digimon games aren't good. Not worth it. As far as I'm aware. I've only ever been, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. You suck. Oh, you suck. You have wood and cookies and coal. I'll take all that. Cookies are horrible food, but they're numbing. But I've only ever been a consumer of the show, not the actual games. I've played the Pokemon games and I've watched some of the Pokemon shows. Not all of them, because I'm not a complete lunatic watching every single one, but I grew up on the original Ask Ketchum with Brock, and I feel so bad for not remembering her name. All I remember is the Psyduck. I don't remember her name. Hey, Nether Village! I grew up on that, and then I also watched XY and XYZ when it came out, but I, in large part, grew up on the Pokemon movies. So, to this day, my favorite Pokemon are still, Kabutops from, Pokemon Legends or something? They were in Italy at some point. Or Venice, Italy, I'm pretty sure. And that's where we meet Latios and Latias, and also introduce the fossil Pokemon Kabutops. And then the unknowns from another movie that I can't remember the exact name of. I don't think it's Pokemon Legends either. It's some... I'm thinking of something else. But whichever one brings in Latios and Latias. Oh my god! I haven't seen this in ages! I thought they removed it! Okay, I have to explain some things. I've been looking for this building for literally a year. It's a giant parkour building, and there's loot at the top. Misty, thank you. This is a giant parkour building. I've been looking for it for years. I love this building. I genuinely thought they removed it from the mod pack, because I rarely see it at all. What's this about? I can't even click the daylight sensor. Okay, let me set my spawn point as well. Where's a house I can set my spawn point in? Let's go over there. Oh my god! I will happily waste the time to do this. I've been wanting to do this thing for ages! Reset spawn point, thank you. Okay, I can honestly ender pearl around most of it, but we're gonna try and avoid doing that just because. How get up? Is it this side? Yeah, it's this side. Okay. Yeah. Wait. There we go. Secret! Over here. There we go. Boink. And another pearl for my collection. Or ender... Not pearl. I don't know why I said pearl. And... Emerald. Puzzles bread. Yeah. And then parkour our way up. And hopefully I'm not so horrible at parkour that we're gonna mess up all of this. Well, unless I do that. But at least I have the ender pearls. And I'm gonna try avoid using... Oh. I'm gonna try to avoid using the ender pearls unless I need to get through something like that. Or I need to catch my fall. Where puzzle starts here. Or parkour. I don't know why that says puzzle. Well, this is actually the perfect song to be playing on the stream playlist for this. No! I almost saved it. But hey, I got an achievement. Why not? Yeah, that just says puzzle. Why doesn't it say parkour? This is a parkour, not a puzzle. Also, you're probably hearing nothing but my keyboard. So I'm gonna move that a little. I'm gonna move that a little bit. And I better not have any mobs attacking me while I do this. Also, I'm not even going the right way. I need to go that way. For the ruin portal. It's 190 away! I'm so close to it, but I want to do this. I've been waiting to do this for ages. I will fail at this first. This is only the beginning, too. Is what kind of sucks about that. That I'm failing the very first obstacle. I'm pretty sure there's, like, catches later, but... I'm getting caught on that, and that's why. Is that a pumpkin? Pumpkin, welcome! I finally found the stupid building again. I have been looking for this particular building from the Better Villages mod pack, or mod, for legitimately a year. Hello, 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 hello! We're enjoying our thief run. I'm on break, so I got the chance to pester. Hell yeah. You enjoying my failing parkour? There we go. Whoop. Very wonderful. I almost walked right off of that. No! And I walked right off of that block. I will get this done. If we hit a half hour, I have 15 minutes to do this. If we hit a half hour, then I'm gonna go get the other thing. But until then, I'm going to try and do this. And fail at the first jump, apparently. I'm gonna waste all my food doing this, aren't I? I could ender pearl up, but I feel like that's against the spirit of it. Please? Okay, there we go. There's a bunch of ender pearls around that you can get. Whoop. Thank you. Another pearl for me. Whoop. Oh, no! No! I will get up there again. There we go, okay. Ender pearling is shameful for shame? For shame? What? When did I... Huh? Am I doing it automatically and not realizing? Oh, there's gold here. I probably didn't even realize I did it. Nope. Oh, did I pearl it from the ladder? That's probably what I did. I've been doing it automatically half of the time. I can't see the next ladder. There we go. Lovely. Into the bundle. Whoop. Is that not what it wants me to do? I don't know what it wants me to do here. I'm gonna go this way. Into the bundle. Oh, this one's easy. Okay. Lovely. Bonk. And then we continue on. I'm shocked you have a water bucket. I'm an Enderman. I can't use water buckets. Plus, we're in adventure mode. I cannot place one even if I wanted to. Unless I get my hands on water protection, I'm screwed for that matter. Okay, it wants me to go over there. And then gotta make that. Wonderful. Why did I fail continuously at the beginning, but not now? There we go, we beat it. I got the rewards. Bonk bonk. Boop boop. No, I wanted to throw everything in there. There we go. Alright, lovely. I'm happy with that. And that was in 3 minutes. Okay, wonderful. Cool. We carry on. It's nighttime. I should probably sleep. Did I land? Oh, yep, that's a spot. Already went into that house, so let's trade this one. Any loot? I'll take bread. I'm kinda low on it. Alright, let me scooch in, Laura. I'm stealing your bed. Taking away your biggest asset away is bringing pure joy. You shall play as I do. I mean, I can't place literally... I can't even use flint and steel. This is adventure mode. I can't do anything. When did... Okay, I guess something was there. Something that happened right there. But yeah, I do adore the water bucket. It's just an easier way to play. What? In the snow? Terracotta in the snow. Am I seeing this correct? Because that's what? Don't think there's gonna be anything good in there. And then there's just farm animals down there. Why? Snowy Badlands. Why does that exist? I just had the wildest interaction. Oh dear. What happened? Whoop. Whoop. So on Monday I wore my Nightwing shirt. It is now Thursday. Hi, Garland. Can I steal? I could steal stuff. Food! Good food! You have any... You don't really have anything in there. Pork chop. I still haven't seen any wolves this entire time. I am wearing my Zelda t-shirt, which is tie-dye. Nice choices of shirts. Is there anything upstairs for me? No. Just campfire. I can't really do a lot with anything. I don't want to take potatoes. I just kind of want bread. Bread. Sticks. I'll take sticks. And someone just goes, is that the same short you wore on Monday? That Nightwing character? Wait, you're wearing a Zelda t-shirt and they asked if it was the Nightwing character? What? How do you mess up that badly? What? I was dumbfounded. Yeah, I don't blame you. My Nightwing shirt is black and blue. My Legend of Zelda shirt is tie-dye. How? Some people are just very comfortably wrong. I can't get any of that. I want the food, but I can't have it. There's a water bucket, but here's your proof, Pumpkin. I am spamming. I can't show it. I'm spamming. Gotta go. Alright. Have a nice day, Pumpkin. There's just... Whee! There's so much going on right here. Wool! More wool! I still haven't found leather. Actually, we saw a leather worker earlier. Did I pass by leather and not realize? Probably, honestly. I mean, I can always go back, too. Oh, the portal's right over here. Where is it? Where is it? It says it's 50 blocks that way. I should be able to see it. No? Don't tell me it's underground. It's underground. What do you mean? I just wanted to show the ruined portal. I didn't want to accidentally find the deep dark again. That's not what I intended to happen there. Hello there. Alright, let me find a cave. Oh. Let's see if... You're 144? What do you mean? Oh, of course it's a dead end. Good thing this isn't hardcore. Good thing this ain't hardcore. Okay. I just wanted to get some stupid fire charges. I'll take bread. Where's the cave I even went? Oh, it's down there. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, up there. Nope. Whoo! No, 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 no. Go anywhere but here. Okay, so literally nothing can touch me out here. Because I am but a weak oh, I'm at the exact same spot. Because I am but a weak noodle. Okay, lovely. So that ruined portal is bust. I should go to a waste stone, go back to spawn, and try and find a portal from there, probably. Because how the hell could I even get down there? This is a genuine question. How could I... It's completely full. It's completely covered. I literally cannot get down there. Okay. I only have a half hour left to stream. We're gonna take a little break real quick. Once I get back to spawn. Oh dear. Oop. There we go. Oop. That that was just sad. Hip. There we go. Lovely. Oh, right in town square. Fantastic. Alright. What? I need to stop doing that. I really, really need to stop purling right into caves. Okay, which one was all the way out at spawn? Ray. Lovely, okay. And we're gonna take a quick BRB. I'll be back in but a few. Let me pause the timer. There we go. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. What the hell? Okay. Okay, yeah. And let's pull up the timer, unpause, restart. There we go. No! 33 something. There we go. We're gonna go with that. It's probably more accurate to the real time anyway. So from here, can I find a suitable ruin portal? There's one 200 this way. Is it going to be underwater, though? Oh, I see it! It's there! Okay! I didn't even realize there was one right next to spawn! I still don't know if a charge, fire charge, right? Fire charge is going to work. But I can hope. I can sincerely hope it will. I don't think it's actually possible. It's underwater! Maybe we can try going over to this village and see if there's a ruin portal closer to that. I should have gone with Elytrian. This is horrible. Because it takes a heart of damage every second I'm in the water. It's just like being in fire. Let's try over here and see how well that does. Probably about time I go to new chunks anyway. There you go, cat. Come on. You're gonna appear on stream. Come here. You interrupt the stream, you have to come onto the stream. Yeah? How do you feel? You say hi? Yeah. You go meow? No? Okay. Go on. There we go. Kitty cat, yeah. He has finally come in for the night. Also, I'm like half twisted in this chair. Hold on. Why is a spider spawned right there? I get up for 1 second to move around in my chair. Why did a spider spawn in the daylight? Alright, there's another one right there. Why are spiders spawning? It's daylight. It is very, very obviously daylight. Whoop. Oh, it's almost night, that's why. Is there anything around? There's something over there. I really don't know what could possibly give... Oh. What could possibly give me fire charges other than... Oh, it's just one of those buildings. No, that's a different thing. What the hell am I seeing then? I genuinely don't know what that... Oh, it's this building again! No? I've never seen this. Okay. I guess it has stuff. I can't use any of it, though. Whoop. Goodbye. Huh. That's fine. Yep. Alright. We're decently far away. Maybe I can try... A new ruined portal. Search group. No. Oh, there's a new one this way. Okay. 700 this way, which isn't as far as the other ones. It's going in this direction, and the other one that was this direction was like 12,000, 1,700 from where we are. Or not 12,000. 1,200 or 1,700 from where we are. It's gonna be underwater. Yeah, my luck it would be. Whoop. Oh, nope. Just lovely. And we're back to this area. Oh, I almost walked right off into that. Do I have anything that's quite that way? No, I don't have any waystones that are that way. Or that would be more helpful than just me walking this. Half tempted to find a bed, but I'm also half tempted to just keep going. Ugh. Keep doing that to myself. Actually, I wanted to check this village. We saw a leather worker here. Oh, there's this place. Alright. Is this just like the water temple ruins, but above ground? I think it is. I opened that chest. There we go. Bastion Remnant map. That's an interesting choice. I can't go to the Nether, so I can't use that, but interesting choice. Cheers. I prefer the bread. I have a saddle, but you know, I got a saddle for a horse, but I just realized that's kind of pointless because I could just teleport around. How am I gonna get across this, though? That one is the overworld. Bastion Remnants? As in the end one? Or is it the Bastion Overworld? Because I know there's a Bastion Overworld, but it's literally titled Bastion Overworld. Would it also be titled Bastion Remnant? Because I know it's a thing in the compass. If I look Bastion, there's Bastion Underground from repurposed structures. Oh no, the timer's still going. Okay, yeah. How did I miss this? Is the portal underground again? Is the portal underground? It's underground. It's right over here. It has to be underground. It is so underground. I never saw it over here. Yeah, we're like right above it. It's so underground. And it's completely encased again. Why does it keep doing that? You suck. You suck so much. I'm just gonna start running this way. And just load new chunks. Whoop. Whoop. Oh, I gotta beat that water. Oh. I just want to get stupid charges. I have no idea where else I could maybe get them from a stronghold. I'm not sure if that's stronghold loot, though. Stronghold, it's 3,000, over 3,000 away. 5,000? It's 5,000 blocks away. I am absolutely not doing that. Absolutely not. If I looked up Stronghold Nether. No, that is in Nether. Okay. Oh, I usually looked up Stray Fort, not Stronghold. No, that was the Stronghold, okay. Because it says Stronghold right, Stray Fort right there. And then Stronghold Town, we've already seen one before. We've seen a couple now, actually, I think. Jeez. And there's nothing over in this direction so far. I don't know where else I could get the charges. Because they'd have to be from the Nether, but I can't get in the Nether, so the only other thought is the ruined portals. But I can't seem to get a ruined portal. Okay, there's 200 this way. You better not be underground. Or underwater, for that matter. Oh, it's so underwater, isn't it? It's underwater. It's underwater! Why? There are literally 2 constraints I have to this run. I have 30 minutes. I am gonna just lure a creeper to the top of that stupid place. Let me find... Or, can I look for waystone towers? No. Tower? No, wouldn't be. Okay, nearest village. Okay, it's gonna be Village Grove that way, okay. Is there a closer actual village? Village structure? 1,000, okay. I was hoping to find a waystone that'd be a bit closer, but I think we just need to head back to the goal. I don't know if I'm definitely not making it before nighttime. It's gonna be another 10 minutes until it's night. Unless I manage to figure out a way to lure one out from a cave. A creeper out from a cave. Oop. Barely missed that. I am going the right way, aren't I? Yes, yes I am. That is a cave. Yep. That Great A cave. Wonderful. Oh. Okay. I just want the stupid helmet. That's all I want. That's the Night Lich. That is one of the bosses of mass destruction. It's not actually there. You have to do stuff to spawn it in, but that is the arena. And I'm pretty sure there's a barrel in the middle of this. Yeah, there's a chest right there, and there's stuff down there, but you have to break into it in order to get it. And I can't place torches. So, I'm plumb out of luck for that. Am I going the right way? No. I need to go this way, right? Yeah. What? What? Okay. Alright. Why is that, like, perfectly cut? There it is! Too bad I haven't found any creepers along the way that I could drag over to this thing. I don't know if the creeper pathfinding would be smart enough to get around the powdered snow, though. Are there any caves nearby I could steal a creeper from? Oh, this is supposed to be the start. Okay. What is that? This is our goal. There's a netherite helmet in ice up there. I can't break blocks, though. I can't place any fire, so that's not a way to do it. However, I can break blocks using creepers. I cannot place TNT, though. So the path is clear. I must drag a creeper up there. I was hoping to get fire charges, but that was just not happening. That was the number one reason we're going for ruined portals. But now I'm hoping I can just drag a creeper over to this and drag it all the way up. There's powdered snow randomly about it. What is it called? Not a clue. I've only ever found it. I genuinely don't have a clue what this could be from. Ice? Z-pointer? Minecraft ice spikes? Not found. Paralith ice mesh? Ice march? No. Spike? There's obsidian spikes. Spiral. There's only black spirals. I do not have any clue. Frozen? Those are Terralith biomes. I think Terralith does have some of its own structures, but I have no clue. What I do know is I want to get a creeper over there. Somehow, some way. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to wait for night again, though. I don't... What are any caves that are around this area? Or not there. Around this area that I could pull a creeper from. There's something over here. Could I manage to pull a creeper from it, though? Because I don't have any blocks to build with either. Oh no, this is just genuine. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I have to wait for night again. Which is going to be another 8 minutes. Something like that. I mean, I might as well get food while I wait then. I see a little cow over here. Of course it's like 62 health. I got one piece of beef from that. Now I'm just gonna archer. That's way more damage anyway. You suck. Where are you going? Oh. You're on 2 health. Just let me whack you. I got leather! Okay. It's not enough for a backpack, but I could make a diamond katana. So I think we're gonna go with that. Whoop. I don't know why I felt like I had to collect the leather. I don't know why I was hellbent on doing that and not just, you know, killing a few sheep. Or killing a few cows. How make pole? I don't remember the crafting recipe. Oh right, there's all the chipped stuff. Pole? I need string for it, okay. Good thing I have string. Pole! And then... No, that would be a glaive. How do I make a katana? I'm pretty sure you need a pole for it. Katana. Oh, you literally just make it like that. Yeah, I probably should have realized that. Wouldn't follow me inside. Nice try, though. So I have a diamond katana now. Not sure what I'm gonna do with that. I still have time until night, so I'm gonna go back over to the village that was over this. Or wait, no, I can use the waystone. Go back to the village that was over the hill here, use their stone cutter. What was the name of that place? Car. Character. Stone cutters right there. Lovely. and then do that. Or lots and lots of wood that I can't place, but I can have it. I guess. And then the one I need to get to is Azza. 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 Not the correct Azza, but okay. Or what was the name of this one then? Crew. 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 Got it. I've gone through half the day. I didn't grab my food. I didn't grab my food from that house. What house was I even in? Genuinely, what house was I in? I don't remember. Was I in the one over here? Yes. Yes, I was. Well, I have a little bit of XP. I guess put it towards health. I want to save a little bit. You know what? Put it at 24. I want to save some amount of XP for traveling with the waystones. Or yeah, waystones. I always call the waystones warpstones and the warpstones waystones. The best part about Fallout 4 is watching people's body parts fly off their bodies. That's one of the things I love about Skyrim 2, is just the ragdoll physics. I have added ragdolling thanks to a physics mod in this mod pack in the past, but it also just kind of gets laggy. So I've been avoiding using it for a while. Just gotta slowly wait. Very, very slowly. And I want to try and get a couple creepers. Because literally the only goal I have at this point is to get the stupid netherite helmet that's all the way right there. That's all I want to do. I just want to be able to steal that. What? I'm genuinely going to check. We're going to let the day... I can't let the day tick while I'm... Because it's single player, it's not multiplayer. Oh. Okay, we're going to pause time. I genuinely want to check Minecraft Wiki and see what fire charges are loot. Or where they're loot. Fire charge. Or can you can oh, it needs blaze powder. Definitely not getting that. Ruin portals and trial chambers. I do not have trial chambers in this version, so it was literally only the ruin portal. But it's like a 50%, it's almost 50% chance that they're there. So that kind of sucks. It's absolutely in those ruin portals, though. Problem is, I can't get to them. So I was definitely going the right direction, I just physically can't do it with this run. That's an igloo. That's an igloo. That's an igloo. I can't even break. There's definitely the underground part, but I can't even break the carpet to go down there. But at least I have a furnace, I guess. Oh, could I pull creeper from this cave? No, there's not nearly enough cave to actually accomplish that. Oh, maybe from here? From this side? There's no way to actually bring one up, though. I still think the best solution is just waiting for night. Because I'm not seeing any caves. I'm not seeing any caves that I could actually steal a creeper from and drag him over. There is a cave over there, though. Hold on. I don't know if it's a good cave, but there is one up there. Is there... Oh, I couldn't. I can get down into... Oh, Yeah, okay. Whoop. Is there anything over there? There's more cows. There's a horse. I haven't seen any wolves this entire time, by the way. I collected a bunch of bones so I could just get wolves for the fun of it, but I haven't seen any. Not a one. I see spiders. There's a creeper down there. Creeper, 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 creeper. Creeper. You're a zombie. We don't care about you. I want a creeper. Pretty please. Not you. Okay, you. You. Yes. We're gonna drag you. As it's getting nighttime. Come on, you. We need to safely get you all the way up that. You ready? You see? You see what we're gonna do? Let's go. This is gonna take forever. Just very, very slowly. Very, very cautiously. Drag the creeper along the cliffside. I still don't have a clue if this is gonna work. But he's intent on following, so let's at least give it a good shot. Can we even get him up there at all? We could, yeah, we could get around. Okay. Because I had ender pearled up here the first. Oh, there's not a way. Oh, wait. Do this. There we go. Bring him up this way. He can get in water. I can't. Are you willing to take a little itty bitty fall damage? Oh yeah, there you go. I don't need no zombie. Oh, that's also a creeper. Oh, even better. So I have a backup creeper now. Lovely. I thought that was a stupid zombie, but no, it's a creeper. Come on, buddy. We gotta slowly walk up here. Pretty please. Come on, figure it out. There we go. Good creeper. Let's go. Let's go. This is like the most ridiculous putt possible. We gotta be careful about the powdered snow. I don't know exactly where. I don't know exactly where it is. Is he gonna get tripped up? No. Okay, there's one. Can he figure it out? Yes, he did. Okay. We're gonna assume that he can figure... There is a patch that you have to jump over, though. I don't think he's gonna figure it out. Can his pathfinding handle it? I would hope so. Okay, there's another little piece right there. Can he get around that? Yes. He's following pretty good. Yeah, there's a little bit right here. No, don't not yet, not yet. Okay, he handled that. We're almost there. Come on, we're almost there. I know we're almost at the top. Pretty please, come on! Oh yeah, this spot. Oh no. I would much rather take the fall damage from that. Okay. So... Nope. I'd much rather just quickly punch. Oh, dear. I can't fix that. I can't place blocks to fix that. I think it's... Oh, I fell for it again. I think it's impossible to do now. There is no way to guide something up that way. Because I physically can't place blocks. Unless I get more creepers up here and blow up more of it, but I don't think that's gonna work. That's how close we were. This is the powdered snow that I was worried about. That's the top. I don't even know if... I don't think there's a way to fix this at all. Unless I get more creepers to blow it up. But I don't think that's gonna do much either. I would love to just quickly repair this, but I can't. Alright, we're getting more creepers. I still have 30 minutes to do this. Why is... Has it been paused? It's been paused. You know what, we're set... Let's... Oh, it's set at 32 hours. Uh-oh. That's why it seems so slow. Let's set it for 20 minutes. I messed up somewhere. I heavily messed up somewhere. Okay, 20 minutes. Is the creeper I left down here still? No, of course he isn't. How? I've stuck around with adventure mode this long. I'm not going to get rid of it now. I just need a stupid creeper to spawn. Preferably several, actually. There's a zombie. Is it actually a creeper? No, it's just... That's just generically a zombie. Are you... You're a creeper! Yes, come here, my guy! Follow me! Okay, lovely. Oops. I took a lot of damage doing that, but... I think I could still pull this off. Zombie is still stupidly following. Does the creeper see me, though? See me, buddy! Thank you. You gonna take all that damage? Yep, you are. Okay, this way. Let's handle the zombie. There we go. Creeper? Hi, buddy. Thank you. There we go. Let's slowly get you up as well. Oh, not the golden apple. Steak. Okay. I'm gonna probably end up cutting this close, aren't I? Come on. You can figure it out. Come on. I know it's difficult. There we go. We're slowly getting him to go. Come on! You got it! Come on, buddy! You got it! Let's go! Let's go! Come on! You can figure it out! There you go. Okay. Lovely. Keep going, keep going, keep going. First obstacle. He figured out the first powdered snow. He's slowly following. I need to avoid sprinting too much because I will just lose him. Come on. There's another piece of powdered snow, but I think that's easy enough for him to handle. Whoa. And then here's another patch. You got it, though. That means we're almost at the top. And this is where I need him to explode. Nope, that did not help. Oh. I think it's genuinely impossible unless it gets repaired. I don't see a way to fix that. I just made that hole deeper rather than off to the side. And it's already day again. So I'll have 5 minutes the next night cycle to do this. I I should have stuck around in the ancient city to see if I could get water protection. Because that's how I got water protection last time. Yeah. That didn't help much. I have a lot of snow blocks, though, now. We were so close to the top. I just fell through the stupid thing. What could I use? Because there's no guarantee I can even use a fire charger in adventure mode. I can't place anything. I bet you I can't place TNT. I can't use pistons. Can I ender pearl my way into it? Can I spam ender pearls and get... Oh, screw you. Can I spam ender pearls and get into it? Because I feel like that's a way I can do it. I've already been phasing through blocks most of this. Can I actually do that? Because it's ice. I could probably phase right through it. I'm sure I can. The only problem is I'm going to be drowning, but I'll get it. I'll have it. I'm going to take off my helmet for this. Can I place down a boat? Would a boat work? I need to check if I can even place down a boat first. Crafting table, crafting table, crafting table. I would assume I can place a boat. Because a boat's going to be a really good... Yes, I can place a boat! I can so place a boat! Okay, we might have a shot! We might have a shot! Ah, I landed over here. There we go. We just gotta walk up this thing again. Okay. I genuinely have a shot at this. I can't break it, but I can certainly break the game. I just want this stupid helmet. That's all I want. It's the ultimate heist. Please. I have 12 minutes. Pretty please, come on. And just to show my insanity, I have one stray hair that's not staying in my stupid ponytail. Oh! Well. No, not the powdered snow. Okay, here's the broken bit. Let's just pearl up. And then there's the spot. And there's a little more powdered snow along the way. Okay. Oh. I don't like that. I do it like this? No. I know there's a way you can boat glitch in. But I don't know how to do said boat glitch. I feel... Is the answer still just pearls? Can I get up there? Come on. I have infinite pearls to do this with. It's not gonna let me through. And I really don't have a lot to work with. It's gotta be boats or pearls, right? I feel like that's the only answers I have right now. I'm making it through! I'm making it through. Or not. No. No. If I could get under this, then maybe, but that creeper was absolutely my best shot at this. There's only one good spot that I could possibly get in right here. But I need this to be one block lower in order to actually accomplish that. Could that spot work? No. This is supposed to be simple, but it really isn't. How? I still think fire charge is the answer, but I physically can't get one. Because the room portal over here was down there. There was one over here, but it was underwater. And that's, for me, that's the equivalent of swimming in lava. And a rune portal is my best chance at getting... was literally my only chance at getting a fire charge. Because I have flint and steel, but I can't place it. So I doubt I could place TNT, because I can't even place any blocks. Would I be able to place torches? I never actually tested earlier. I assumed I just couldn't. Yeah, I can't. I can't even break a bed. And any phasing thing would have to be with the boat. Can I be in the boat and then pearl in? No. No. This sucks. I would need more blocks in order for it to force me in that corner. I pearl in. Oh. I want to stay in here long enough to pearl again. I pearled up. I'm out of bread. Pearl in, stay there, pearl again. And that just pushes me up. So I need a spot that it won't push me up. This spot. I pearl in. I want to pearl in and stay there. Stupid alarm. I want to pearl in and then stay there long enough for the pearl to rejuvenate. Maybe this spot? I feel like that wouldn't work either. This spot and then... No, that just pushes me up there. Stay here long enough to pearl again. To pearl again. I got over here somehow. I don't know how that happened when I was on this corner. And the clouds are phasing through. I'm running out of food and time. It seems like I'm moving. Nope. I felt like I went across it. I think it pushed me up into the lantern gap and not the water gap. I don't think there's a way in. I feel like the answer was absolutely the creeper, but I blew it up. I failed. Flat out. There's nothing I could get in 5 minutes. You know what? It's horrible. I'm gonna try for the room portal. Theoretically, I can teleport down. There's no guarantee that even has a fire charge, but I feel like that's the only possible answer, and I'd rather try and get it. It was over this way, wasn't it? Yes. But it's quite a ways away. It's not even close over here. I have a feeling it's going to say the closest one is either that or something farther. 400 this way. Oh, that's the one underground. Not dealing with it. Not bothering. Maybe a new portal in this direction. I can hope. Perhaps. I'm willing to try anything. I'm not gonna go out silently. I will go out stuttering, but not silently. You'll hear my stutter till the end. Okay. New ruin portal. Search. 700 that way. No. Oh, I can boat across this. Because I can ender pearl to the bottom of the water. Where did my boat go? There it is. Oh, we're not even close. It was the way over here. Is there a new one around? It's probably just going to send me to the one I'm heading towards anyway. I'm willing to check. I almost feel like boating would be faster. Are we at the right spot yet? I swore it sent me to one over here, didn't it? And I got pissed off that I was underwater. What? I know there was one out here. What? Oh, was it over here? I don't remember where it was. I know there's one closer over here. What? Because this one was underwater. We had 2 underground, and then 2 were underwater. What? I know there was an underwater one. What? I know there was! It sucks I can't just go back and look. I'm gonna feel really upset about this at the end when I realize, oh, it was in this direction, it was over here when I'm editing. I know we saw one over here. Can I at least try and head this direction and find a new one this way? I have, like, no food, either. And we have less than 2 minutes. I'm still gonna try. I know it's impossible at this point. I'm still gonna try. But at this point, there's nothing. There's 100. I was right! I knew there was one over here. I don't know why I was trying to send me 1,000 blocks away. Yeah, there's this one over here. I don't think I could even swim that far down. It's gonna take a minute to get down there, but... I just want to know if I could have. There's not even a fire charge here. Oh, with the golden apples, I could have survived. I could have gone for the one at the spawn, but I'm too far away from a waystone now. I want to see, okay, it's a guaranteed loss. I did not get in the 2 hours. I want to see how long extra it could have taken, because I know what I can do now. Excuse me? Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, nearest waystone. Over there. Yeah. So I'm definitely not gonna get it in time. But I want to try anyway. I want to go to spawn. I want to try and get the one right next to spawn. Oh, it's... Time's up. Okay, we did not do it in time. Absolutely not. Oh, stupid rain. I'm still going anyway. I don't care. I want to know... I can't even break corn. I can't even break the plants. And I don't want to eat the last golden apple I have. I have no food. Unless I want to kill a zombie for some. Let me use this boat to get across this area really quickly. And hopefully I can pass over lands without being rained on at all. Is this the area I need to be? No. Further down. Deja vu. This is too far. Too far. My computer hates me. I need to go this way. I can't control it. I have a whole 4 hearts to do this with. Okay, map. I'm going the wrong way. Do I need to go that way? No, I need to go down this way again. This way. Yes, this way. Okay. I just got turned around. I need to go over here. There we go. And this is the shore I want to be on. When did I get 11 XP? Not a clue. Okay, start purling this way. Oh. Oh, no! Rain. Where's my spawn? Oh, at least it's right here. Wasn't that lucky? Oh, I'm in rain. Okay. Quickly get up. Grab, grab, grab. Go. Okay. That's lovely. Up. Thankfully, this village is mostly snowy. Hup. Come on, make it over. Make it over. Make it over. Thank you. And then I can sleep and skip the stupid rain. And hopefully more food. Cake! Eat all that. Potatoes. Something to survive. More cake. You guys have more food. Give another potato. And it's no longer raining. Oh, you have a chest right there. And I'm gonna get rid of that death. Trying to figure out how to get more food. Because I guarantee I've taken most, if not all of it. I think we're just gonna have to survive off of potatoes. Oh wait, I have emeralds. How do I... Take out. There we go. Nice try. There you go. Trade a villager. I can't. I wanted to buy bread from you. That's not what I want. Come on. Alright. I don't want to sit around and wait to cook food. I just want to go and try and attempt this. But I kind of need food. Those houses are going to have a less chance of me actually looting them. Or actually, let's go to the village down there. Drac. Let's go to Drac. Because I probably didn't loot these for food. Thinking I had enough food. No, I did not. Worth a shot. Thank you, Jazzy. Welcome back. Food! We've already gone over the time limit, but I want to try and get this stupid helmet. Potatoes! Okay, that's a lot of potatoes, and I'm gonna take the beetroot soup, because that's decent. Okay. And then we're gonna golden apple. I will go down into the water of the ruin portal. I'll go down into the underwater ruin portal at spawn. Which one spawn? Which waystone spawn? Ray. Let's go to Ray. And then there's a ruin portal underwater right over here. If I golden apple it, we can survive it. Where was it? It's right around here. Yes, right there. So where's the chest? It's right over there. So let's get it as close as possible. I'm gonna throw the pearl. Hopefully in the right spot. Yes. There's none! There's no fire charges. It was pointless. All of that was pointless. I want to find a stupid fire charge and actually complete this challenge. That's all I want to do. Let's boat around. I'm gonna boat far away so I can find a stupid new thing. Metal pipe. We're gonna boat off in this direction so I can find a new place. I just want to find a stupid fire charge. But for context, Joshy, we're in an adventure mode. I want a really stupid helmet that's submerged in ice. We were dragging creepers up there, but I accidentally blew up a creeper too soon, and it destroyed the path up there, so I can no longer bring creepers up there. I can't place TNT. I can't use a flint and steel. I can't even place a torch. So we're hoping, purely hoping, that a fire charge will actually work. And I have no idea if it will. There's a room portal right there. Yeah. There's a ruin portal right there. I have no idea if I can survive that. Pretty please, streamer luck. One of these have a golden apple. You know what? You have respiration. I'm willing to take it. I don't think that's actually gonna help me, though, because it's not a problem of breathing. It's a problem of living. And unfortunately, those are not one and the same in this instance. Okay, none of those have a golden apple. Is there even a chest? There's not even a chest there. Yeah, there's no chest. Is it underwater? Is it submerged? There's no chest. Okay, carry on. We're making new ground though, so hopefully somewhere I can find a ruin portal. Because Room Portal's the only place that has fire charges. There's also, the trial chambers have fire charges, but this is 1.19.2. We don't have those yet. So my only attempt to get them is gonna be the portals. No! I can make a new one, it's fine. Much like my boat, this challenge has been sunk long since. But I want to try anyway. I just want to get the stupid helmet. Hick. Red. I still haven't seen any wolves. Not a one. Thank you, Nightbot. You have iron, but I would usually take that, but I can't. There's a crafting table, so I can make another boat. Can I do anything up here? Not really. I have a katana, I don't need an iron sword. Whoop. That was a bad way to throw. This might have something. Can I? I can't. No, I can't even use a water bucket, so I wouldn't be able to place any lava. I don't even know if I could use a bucket on lava. I don't think there's any possible way that I could go about melting ice other than the fire charge, and that's not even a guarantee we can do it. Is there a new ruin portal out this far? Ruined portal, search group. No, it still wants us to go back to that one. I'm almost tempted to go all the way out to the stronghold, because I feel like there would be ones there. We don't have the typical stronghold, it's modded. And I swear at some point I've seen fire charges in the loot. I feel like I have, but I'm not fully sure of that. I feel dumb, but I can't find how to put the loot's coupon in. I don't know, I don't know. Let me open that, hold on. Stream loots. Gift packs. Stream loots page. Get my packs. 1 pack. Discount coupon underneath quantity. Coupon slot. When you buy a pack, underneath pack type and quantity, it says discount coupon. I just want a new nether portal. Also, I love that elevator music is currently playing on stream. That's great. That's very fitting for this right now. Okay, we're 700 away from that last one. There's one 172 over here. Is it above ground? It's above ground! It's above ground! Oh my god. Alright, water, water. It's above ground! I should have just gone this. There's still no guarantee it has a fire charge, or even if the fire charge even works. But, oh my god! Chest, chest, fire charge! Okay, okay. Throw that in inventory. I don't want to accidentally use it. I don't want to find out if we can use it or not until I get there. Okay. Let's go back to the village we were just at. We're gonna use the waystone and teleport across the world. Okay! I have to go to... not Carter. Crew, right. Alright. I may actually be able to do this. It's gonna be definitely over time, but... Anyway, back to work. Peace. Alrighty. Bye-bye, Jazzy. I just want to do this stupid thing. This really stupid thing. We're using this tower instead, because that's closer. Oh. That's not faster. Okay. Oop. Anything in here? I'll take the iron ingot. There's a bunch of redstone. Might as well. Can I take all of it? Thank you. I'll take the apples too. Why not? Crew. And then I'm going to sleep. Because I feel like that's a smart choice to do. I can have the sun rise over me getting this helmet if it's successful. Still not a clue if this will work. Okay, I don't need the compass anymore. Or the boat, I don't think. Whoop. I still don't know why this is called shield. I really don't. Head out over there. Whoop. Whoop. Hip. Nope. Hip. There we go. We're gonna go up the stupid thing again. I have no idea how much time I'm over at this point. I know several times... I don't even think that 20 minutes was accurate, because we're almost 3 hours into stream. I have no idea what the accurate time is anymore. I'll find out in editing. So this is no longer a timed run, this is now a speed run. Jeez. I don't know what the next goal is gonna... I really want to do bingo next. Oh, nope, get me out of here. I would love to do bingo next. I think that'd be really funny. Just get a bunch of obscure items. And I have to make something ridiculous for a bingo. For any bingo. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Oh, that worked. Okay. And then this stupid spot. I don't think the creeper would have been able to get past that anyway, because I can't build for him. There was no way for me to help him out there. Okay. We're gonna wait for this stupid cloud before this one. Does it even work? It doesn't work! The creeper was literally the only way. Oh, that's sad. I really did fail. Okay. That's so sad. You know what, for the fun of it? Just so we can see this through. Give me a creeper spawn egg. Actually, no, just give me TNT. Give me a piece of TNT. Yippee! Oh, the creeper would have destroyed the armor stand anyway. Oh well. Well, that was a great haul. Wonderful. That was fun. I failed, but that was still very, very fun. Alright. That'll be it. That was great. I failed it, but that was still hilarious to try and do. I am the worst thief ever. I'm the worst thief ever. Wait, it just occurred to me. Can you use tools in adventure mode at all? I didn't think to test that part. I am reopening Minecraft. I don't know if that would work. I really don't. I just want to see. I am reopening this. I need to know now. Could I have just grabbed a pickaxe this entire time? Was the answer the obvious answer? Because I grabbed there were so many pickaxes that I could have grabbed if that's the answer. Please, Minecraft load. I need the answer. I need to know. I need to know. Please. I beg of you. Because I feel like that's a thing. And if that is a thing, that's really, really sad. That I just completely missed the obvious answer. Oh, would have dropped the helmet. The armor stand would have dropped the helmet, so the creeper would have worked. Okay, I'm wrong. I didn't see that. Game mode. Adventure. No, it wouldn't have. Okay, yeah, creeper was the solution. It would have dropped the helmet. Oh, it has Curse of Binding. Well, so I objectively failed. I flat out failed. Yeah. I failed. The creeper was the only way to do it, and I failed the first try. Alright. That's it for real. At least it was fun. I had a lot of fun with that. I'm not sure if I feel like Pacifist would have to be a video I record. Because I'd want to make like a gunpowder farm for that or something along the lines. Or it'd take a long time to get any of that. Or I could just use fire charges. Or not fire charges, flint and steels. That could work. Yeah, that could work just about anywhere. I could have really done that. I'm not sure if I still want to do Pacifist. It's still one of my favorite ideas. I'm not sure if that's something I would personally do. I really want to do Bingo. I think Bingo would be super fun. And then I'll find some more things for us to do as well. But that'll be it. Thank you all for joining me. That was ridiculously fun, as annoying as it was. Yeah. That'll be it. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.